Night of Champions is next week, and maybe I'm overthinking things, but some of these matches are just too close to call, but we're gonna try anyways. And even though this championship is not being defended at Night of Champions, I'm gonna defend it right here on Wrestle Chop. You see, you can win it at 30,000 subscribers. I'm gonna give it away. I give away belts every 10,000 subscribers, already given away 3 on this channel. So if you wanna win, all you gotta do is comment below and be a subscriber. Say you gotta subscribe. Also, I don't know if any of you know this, but hitting that like button is totally free. And it actually helps me out and helps me get to quit my day job because it tells YouTube that this video is worth watching, and then it pushes it to other wrestling fans. So could you help me out? And if you watch the video, could you like the video? I know I probably sound a little condescending. Would you like me to beg? Because I'll beg. Please, please, kind sir, please, kind mom, would you please like the video? It costs you nothing, but it means so much to me. But don't forget also to comment and subscribe so you can win this belt. It's not a toy. It's a replica. All right, so let's start off with an easy one. We got Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, the U.S. champion. Tiffany has not held the belt very long, so that makes me believe that maybe they keep it on her. But then again, Jade Cargill, they've kept very strong after losing her title at Mania. And one way to keep a champion strong is to instantly, if they're going to lose, one way to keep them strong is for them to instantly win another title. And that's what I think we're going to do here. Plus, she's in a feud with Charlotte Flair, so I think they give it to Jade so then she can drop it to Charlotte. I'm not saying I want that, but that's what I think is going to happen. And maybe at SummerSlam or something, and then they could pull a Becky Lynch where you give a top main eventer the belt, keeps them out of the main event scene, but gives them a belt to elevate younger talent. So I am picking Jade, but I'll give you a bonus prediction in that I could definitely also see this being a double DQ if Charlotte Flair just comes in for revenge on Jade Cargill and ends up getting into a fight with all 3 of them. That way we could just have a triple threat at SummerSlam, and that's where Tiffany loses it. But if I had to pick, I'm going Jade. Speaking of triple threats, we got Gunther versus Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn seems like a dark horse pick, but, well, it does seem like the eventual end goal is to get the belt on Sami. I was thinking they were going to try to do it at WrestleMania because it's in Saudi Arabia. But so is this PLE. What if they don't think Sami is big enough to win it at Mania, but they want to give the Saudi people, a hometown hero, a championship win? So honestly, this would be a prime spot for Sami Zayn to win it for maybe 1 or 2 months. Very quick title reign. I could see it happening. Plus, he's doing some great character work right now. Cody Rhodes, I mean, he's Cody Rhodes. Like, you can't go wrong picking Cody Rhodes because, well, he's the golden boy. Self-proclaimed golden boy. It's a very predictable yet safe choice to pick Cody Rhodes. And Triple H, well, he's very predictable and safe a lot of the times. And then there's Gunther. Gunther has seriously gone down a couple notches, in my opinion, since coming to SmackDown and challenging Cody Rhodes. He's still a big deal, but he should be a bigger deal considering he retired AJ Styles, he retired John Cena, he retired some other guy, and yet, like, Gunther, he feels like almost the weakest he's ever been, or like close to it. You know, I guess after tapping out to Jey Uso in 1 second, that's the weakest he's ever been. But yeah, you know, Gunther just doesn't feel like the big deal he once was, and the way to remedy that is to give Gunther the title. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to give Gunther the title because if Cody is holding that title, who's he going to face at SummerSlam? CM Punk? No, I think we're going to hold off CM Punk and Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania. So that said, take the belt off of Cody here. Cody can just have maybe a 2 to 3 month feud with Sami Zayn, and that'll keep him busy while Gunther defends the title for a little bit and start to rebuild the Gunther that we know and love. But yeah, I'm actually going to give it to Gunther here. But if I had my pick, I'd actually give it to Sami Zayn. 2 reasons. Loving Sami Zayn's character work now. And the second is, I don't want him winning at WrestleMania. So if we got to give him the belt, let's just do it. Let's get it done with, especially with this character. if we got to give him the belt, this is a prime character to give it to because I am legit enjoying the last good guy, Sami Zayn. The other U.S. title match, Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. Trick Williams. I mean, is anybody picking Ricky Saints? Unless Danhausen comes out and curses Trick Williams, he's not losing. Trick is 100% winning this matchup right here. No shade to Ricky Saints, but he's not winning. It's just not happening. I do not see a world in any of the multiverse in which Ricky Saints wins. I don't even think I need to go into why they're going to keep the belt on Trick Williams? I don't think so. Trick is just like, he has everything going for him. He has everything going for him, and I don't think they're going to stop his momentum. He's going to carry it to SummerSlam, where I think he faces Carmelo Hayes, but I could see Trick holding the title all year, to be honest with you. Seth freaking Rollins versus Braun Breaker. This one is so close to call, in my opinion. There's really no stakes on the line other than this will probably wrap up the Vision-Seth Rollins feud. And I just don't know. The Vision is probably a dead faction at this point, so I guess Braun Breaker in the Vision doesn't need the victory. But Braun Breaker as a whole does need the victory. I said that Gunther was no longer the Gunther that we know and love, but Braun Breaker's like a shell of his former self at this point. He needs a victory. But that said, on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns whispered something into Jacob Fatu's ear, and a lot of people online are saying that Roman whispered Seth Rollins kill him to Jacob. And if that's the case, you would think that Jacob would maybe interfere in this matchup right here. Who knows? Maybe even do a moonsault off the top of the steel cage. And you might be asking, why would Jacob interfere? Because, Roman is trying to eliminate all the threats ahead of time. Roman is consolidating power, and Seth is definitely, if Seth no longer has the Vision to deal with, then he will be a threat to Roman. So, preemptive strike. I don't know. I could see Jacob interfering here in this matchup. And if that's the case, maybe Braun Breaker would win. Or I'm thinking this is the finish. This is the finish. We're going to have Braun Breaker. He's going to spear Seth Rollins right through the cage. He's going to spear Seth Rollins right through the cage. And then maybe, you know what? I'm giving it to Seth Rollins. I think he spears him through the cage. Whether or not Jacob helps, he spears him through the cage, and Seth just happens to have his feet touch the ground first. So then Braun Breaker can have the moral victory of, dude, I beat ya. I destroyed you. You were dead. You just happened to roll downhill faster than me. And then Braun Breaker will go his way, and Seth Rollins will go his way with a victory. Both can be, both can say they won in some kind of fashion. Now, I hate that idea because I just would rather Braun Breaker get a W, but Triple H and the writing staff seems to think that Braun Breaker is so young he can suffer the losses and he has plenty of time to recover. Yeah, okay. Whether or not Jacob Fatu interfered, Seth is winning here, and maybe there'll be ramifications for Jacob Fatu in failing. And that brings us to the king and queen of the ring. We've got Liv Morgan on day 64 of 0 title defenses, and her opponent, Iyo Sky. Now, Liv, she holds the title. She is the champion, and whoever wins gets to pick the champion. Wouldn't it be funny if Liv won and instead of picking Rhea Ripley, she's like, I pick Liv Morgan, and then Liv just doesn't have to fight at SummerSlam? Oh. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I do think that Liv Morgan will win. I don't understand why we would put the women's champion in this match if we weren't going to let her win. I don't care who it is. Because she is champion, I think she wins. Because, honestly, even Iyo Sky's best friends with Rhea. So if Iyo Sky beats Liv Morgan, logically, why wouldn't Iyo Sky just pick Liv Morgan to face? 1, she's already beaten Liv Morgan. 2, it's her brand. They're both Raw superstars. And 3, Rhea Ripley's her best friend. There's no real reason to go after Rhea Ripley. So that said, we're not going to do a rematch of Liv and Iyo at SummerSlam. Therefore, I'm thinking we have Liv Morgan beat Iyo Sky here. She gets to gloat even more. And we could probably do a beatdown at this point. They start beating her up, and then this is my brutality. We have Rhea Ripley run out for the save, and I hate this because I don't think we should use Iyo Sky as the damsel in distress, but I think that's what they're going to do. And that kicks off the feud between Rhea and Liv Morgan. Those two are mortal enemies, so that kind of is cool that we find that they're finally revisiting each other after so long, but I would rather it not be like this. I don't think the women's champion should be winning the crown, but I think that's what they're gonna do. Oh, I forgot to put this in the video. So what happens if Liv Morgan actually does win? So either A, you could have Liv Morgan have to defend her title night 1, and then night 2, she gets a shot at Rhea Ripley's title, or we have it Liv Morgan non-title defense while Rhea Ripley has to defend her title in the match. It's lame, but they could do that. And then on the other, I'm going to give a bonus prediction here. One way for Iyo Sky to actually win is if Rhea Ripley is injured and she has to vacate the belt. So they did this with the 2020 Women's Money in the Bank when Becky Lynch, the best in the world, she got pregnant. And that's not just me saying it. That was a pregnancy test that said it. But who said it? She was the best in the world. That was Sports Illustrated. But yeah, she got pregnant. And the Money in the Bank winner, Asuka, actually, they just awarded her the title instead of the contract. So if Rhea has to vacate the belt, then I think they let Iyo win here. And they just give her the championship along with the crown. Back to the video. All right, so now we come to Oba Femi versus Jey Uso for the King of the Ring. Will it be King Yeet like everybody seems to think it is? It's kind of like it's a foregone conclusion that Brock Lesnar is going to interfere. But what if he doesn't? General consensus is Brock is going to attack Oba. In fact, Oba even brought it up on a Raw saying, "Where are you, Brock? I thought you were gonna come and attack me." I think it's too obvious. I think it is so obvious. The fact that Oba Femi is even calling it out makes it just too obvious. Therefore, I think Triple H is not gonna do it. I think that Oba is just going to win. Now, does that mean Oba is actually going to face Roman at SummerSlam? Maybe. I mean, we could always do night 1, Brock Lesnar, night 2, Roman Reigns. That would be one way to really solidify Oba Femi as the next big thing. Because what if during the crowning ceremony, that's when Brock attacks? He just grounds and pounds him, and Oba Femi is like, "All right, Brock, I want you now." And he's like, "No, you can't have me. Tell you what, okay, you know what? I will let you. We will fight at SummerSlam. Night 1, you put your number 1 contendership match on the line, and then I will face you." And that's night 1. At most, they're only going to go 8 minutes, so they could definitely have a night 2 matchup against Roman Reigns. So we could have our cake and eat it too. Brock could attack, and Oba could still be the champion. And then this would also set up a scenario in which Roman Reigns is berating Jey Uso for losing. Because make no mistakes about it, Roman doesn't want to face Oba Femi. So if Jey could have won, he could have sent him after Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, or Gunther, whoever wins. And even better, if we do that other thing that I talked about with Jacob actually failing to make Seth Rollins lose, then both Jacob and Jey could be in trouble. Jacob could apologize and say won't happen again, while Jey is just upset. And then Roman can say something like along the lines to Jey, "Why can't you be more like Jacob? Just take responsibility when you fail." And that will then further Jey's animosity and jealousy of Jacob Fatu. So there's a lot of ways that we can win here. Or we could just literally do Oba Femi versus Brock, one match at SummerSlam where they do put the number 1 contenders match on the line. Roman can go fight Seth Rollins, CM Punk, whoever it may be. And then the next PLE, that's when Oba Femi can cash in his King of the Ring number 1 contendership match. Multiple ways to go here. But that said, King Jey Uso, I know the internet is like petrified of that prospect. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's too obvious. It is too obvious at this point for Brock to interfere and cost Oba the match. So, Oba, he's your king. And those are my predictions. Boys, girls, let me know what you think about them and tell me yours in the comments below. See ya, bye.